So, what if Duncan had a sister that was on World Tour that convinced him to stay? This is a theory. My theory. Not only a theory, a video I will be doing. So Duncan tells Chris that he's gonna quit, but Vanna says this.
You can't go so soon. We're just getting started. Now let's sing. Wait, Duncan, where are you going? Don't quit. Don't bail on me. Come on. We're just getting... Come on. Don't leave me here all alone, all by myself.
And Duncan's like, oh, you won't be by yourself because you have Dumba on your team. Then she's like,
oh, but I need you. Please, I'm here for you, and you can always talk to me. You don't have to quit. We could play, for real. Isn't that what you want? You're brother and sister, and I need you by my side. We could sing this together. Sing your heart out. Sing it like you mean it. And don't refuse.
Duncan's like, okay, Vanna, I'll leave. I don't want to be here anymore. And Vanna goes after Duncan. She's like,
you can't quit now. We're just getting started. This isn't over. Not between us. This is a world tour. We have to sing our hearts out no matter what. Well, now let's sing. And don't give up. Always keep trying and trying again.
And Duncan's like, no, I'm not saying I'm out. And Vanna's like,
you don't understand what you have been through. Just so you can get here, you've been through so much on this long journey. Come on, keep your head up high and keep singing. This means so much for you. You're in world tour now. Season 3, you could win another season. Now keep singing. Keep your head up high, because we're about to enter a whole new season of world tour.
Duncan says this. What is this, a musical?
Just do it. Please, for us, for me, for Mom, for Dad, for the whole camera crew, for us. Please.
And Duncan would have said this. Sorry, sis. I quit. But then Vanna convinces Duncan to stay.
But we need you. You're the strongest player ever. We need you to compete for us. Please, what do you say? Team?
Then Vanna convinces Duncan to stay. Duncan's like, yeah, okay, yeah. I'm in this to win it. Hold on tight, because we're about to win.
Yeah.
And then, of course, since Duncan didn't quit, Ezekiel gets eliminated. Okay, now on to the next episode where they're all doing their commercial. Vanna gives her team a motivational speech. Of course, when Heather, Gwen, and Courtney argue, Duncan would have gotten annoyed and Vanna would have gotten annoyed too. So when the others walk off, Duncan would have walked off. And then Vanna would have helped Duncan with the commercial. So Duncan, Cody, and Sierra and Vanna do the commercial. Team Victory loses, Harold goes home. And then she's all like,
don't worry guys, we may have to be 3 members short, but we got this, because we're a team. We can do this together.
Of course, for the next challenge, now Duncan would have jumped with Vanna on the ice. Duncan would have saw Gwen struggle, and Courtney would have jumped with Duncan too. Duncan would have saw Gwen struggle, he would have been like this. He would have said this. Oh wait, Gwen needs a helping hand. Hey Gwen, how are you? And Duncan would have helped Gwen, and the two would have talked, would have bonded, would have made a few jokes. Courtney would have told them to stop talking and told them to win this challenge. Vanna would have gotten curious and been like, what are you two up to? And Duncan would have been like, Duncan would have said this. Oh, you know, just playing the game. As always. That's what Gwen would have said. And it would have said this.
Oh, okay. Now let's play the game the way it should be played.
Of course, Alejandro would have flirted with Vanna, distracting her. And Duncan would have told Vanna. Would have seen this. Vanna would have been like, nope, I gotta help my brother. She would have told Alejandro to keep his head in the game. Alejandro would have called her advice good. Then Vanna would have focused more on the game and helping Duncan win the challenge. Bridget would have still got stuck to the pole and went home. Duncan and Vanna have no idea what's going on in the team Victory so they can't stop her from getting stuck to the pole until they sing a song about it. Broadway, baby, is a non-elimination round. So Vanna would have helped Duncan with the challenge again. Duncan would help Vanna. Then Duncan and Heather would have argued. Vanna would have Cody and Sierra are tight. Courtney gets scared for some reason, so she hugs onto Duncan. Then Vanna takes a picture and she posts it on her vlog. On her Duncan vlog YouTube channel. This doesn't make Duncan laugh, but this surprises Courtney. She would have giggled.
We are cute. He is cute.
Vanna would have took the pictures with them. Vanna's spirit would have kept the team alive, and Vanna's cheerful spirit would have kept the team alive, and really would have motivated Duncan. Duncan would have got motivated. He would have argued with Heather, told her what to do. Heather would have told him what to do. They would have had beef. Alejandro would have flirted with Vanna again. Vanna would have blushed, and she would have called herself a simp. But she would have said this.
Flatter me too much, Alejandro.
Of course, she would have handed Alejandro a list of things she needed to do, which would be win a challenge. Alejandro would have gotten furious. Then Vanna would have won a challenge for her team. She would have even took pictures with her team. Then she would have yelled at Heather. Heather would have said this. Zip it, you two, weirdo girl. Then Vanna would have said this.
Whatever, Heather, hater, loser, no friends. You have no friends. At least I have many.
Why, you little... And Cody would have been like, guys, this is not the time to argue. We need to figure out how to help this team win. When Sierra carries the apple of her head, Duncan's like, oh wait, weird. How is she doing that? Vanna helps her team win. And now for the next challenge. Okay. So Duncan would have grabbed as many meat, sausage meat as he can. And Vanna would have helped out, yeah. And then she would have, when Duncan gets the hat, he would have said this. Ooh, how great. Vanna would have said this.
Hat! So nice! I love them. They suit me so well, and they're green. Right, Duncan? Just like your mohawk. Right, Duncan?
Duncan would have said this. Whatever. Vanna roots and cheers for Sierra. Duncan would have said this. Loving the enthusiasm.
Yeah, I love the cheer. Love to see it.
And then with the whole sausage challenge, Courtney would have bossed Duncan around. Duncan gathers meat. Courtney would have been like, hurry up, faster. Then Duncan had told Courtney to can it. Courtney would have flirted with Duncan. Duncan would have flirted back, and she would have been nice to him. This would have surprised Duncan. Then Courtney would have been like, now what do we do? She would have turned to Duncan and asked that when they're on the sausage.
It's working.
So they would have stopped in the sausage and made it like a sled. Of course, last episode when Duncan found out about Chris being in the show, he would have laughed and he would have made many sarcastic comments about it. And I would have giggled. She would have made sarcastic comments as well. And she would have teased Chris a little bit about it. Then for this episode, Luciana gets eliminated. Vanna can't tell her to focus more on the challenge because she's not on her team. Now for the next episode, the Amazon race. Courtney says this, looking good to Heather. Duncan says this, yeah, looking great, Heather. Duncan calls first class awesome. Vanna agrees. Vanna asks him if he wants to change seats. Duncan agrees to changing seats when he has to sit near Heather. Heather and Duncan start arguing. And Gwen says Team Amazon is lucky. Vanna says that team is Team Amazon, so it is a lucky sign. Vanna says Heather calls Duncan a loser. Duncan calls Heather a loser. Heather calls her a dweeb. Duncan calls her a dork. Leave my man alone, Courtney said, as she hugs Duncan by her side and smiles. And he kisses Courtney softly. They both walk off and both make out. When Gwen sees this, Gwen smiles, and then she says something. Then Duncan and Courtney here. Duncan calls Gwen a great friend. Gwen calls herself an awesome teammate and a great friend. Before Duncan and Courtney made out, Vanna told them to. Vanna pushed Duncan into Courtney, making them kiss. Gwen calls Duncan a great player. Duncan winks at Gwen. Gwen blushes. So when the challenge starts, Duncan asks Chris if he's supposed to avoid the scenes. Chris tells him not to make contact with them when he spots them. Duncan's tough, so he would have outwitted the Zinzins. He has a pocket knife, so he would have used it to free his team by cutting the rope. But Gwen still would have made that same mistake she did. Amazon would have ran away, but then more Zinzins would have got them and tied them even tighter ropes, and they would have took Duncan's pocket knife. So Gwen would have made the same mistake, and I would have said this.
I am well aware of the consequences here. Now, we're tied to a rope. Now what do we do?
Vanna asks to be the president of the Duncan's fan club. Duncan says sure. Courtney says why not. and Courtney hugs him. Of course, this challenge was a reward challenge, so Vanna gets happy to get all the candy in the world. When Vanna sees Sierra cries, she tries to cheer Sierra up with a song. The next challenge, Vanna tries to get Sierra and Cody to make up. Vanna and Duncan comes up with a plan to get all the statues pieces in time. Vanna finds one, Duncan finds many of his team. Heather and Duncan argue. Then Heather and Duncan come up with a plan to get many statues as fast as they can. Duncan tries to get Sierra and Cody to make up. And he tells Cody to take Sierra outside. Courtney bosses Duncan around. Duncan gets annoyed with the bossiness Courtney does, so he talks to Gwen. Gwen cheers him up, and then Duncan makes jokes. Courtney begins to feel left out. Of course, the challenge is the same. Lindsay goes home. Duncan agrees to rebuild the statue and start over. Duncan and Gwen high-five. When they fix the statue, the rest of the team high-five too. Vanna calls their friendship great, and she calls it her cup of tea. For the next episode, Vanna is seen watching Digital Circus on her computer. Duncan laughs and calls it great. Vanna laughs and calls it great. Vanna and Duncan eat cookies. Duncan asks for Vanna's favorite character. Vanna's like,
Oh, Jax, I love Jax. He's so cool and hot.
Duncan's like, sure, okay, I'm gonna go now. Then when they all get in the water, Duncan's like, oh yeah, sure, we're in the water, now what? Okay, McLean, you want us to do this? Fine, we'll do this. Duncan flirts with Gwen. Gwen giggles, Gwen flips with Duncan. Courtney yells at Duncan and tells them to hurry. Duncan rolls his eyes and calls her bossy CIT. Courtney calls herself a CIT. Duncan says whatever. They all swim to their boats. When Courtney yells at her team, Duncan tells Courtney to shut up. Courtney tells them to go faster. Duncan tells Courtney to stop yelling, and Courtney yells back at Duncan. Duncan yells back at Courtney. The two argue for a bit. Duncan calls her bossy and uptight. Courtney calls him an ogre. They both argue. Duncan and Courtney saying to each other, Vanna with his son, and then she would have laughed. She called Duncan and Courtney adorable. Duncan and told her shut up, and then Courtney and told Duncan to appreciate a compliment once in a while. Vanna would have said this,
Yeah, appreciate a compliment once in a while.
Courtney would have called Duncan an ogre. Duncan would have glared at her, calling her uptight loser. Courtney would have gasped. And she would have kicked Duncan right in his kiwis. Vanna would have sighed. Vanna would have laughed and called him cute. And Vanna would have gasped. And she would have questioned Duncan if he's okay. He would have said, my kiwis, owie. Okay, and the only thing would have changed would be Gwen and Courtney wouldn't have got distracted by Rock looking like Duncan, since Duncan is already on their team. That's the only thing that would have changed. Now, for the next episode, okay, for this challenge, Vanna would have called Duncan and Courtney cute. Got distracted by Alejandro's charm, of course. Alejandro would flirt with her. Duncan would told her to keep her head in the game. And of course, Alejandro would have flirted with her. Vanna would have flirted back.
Oh my gosh, Alejandro, you're so cute.
I feel like Duncan and Gwen would have been in an alliance, and Courtney would have joined. Along with Vanna, Courtney would have got a bit jealous of Gwen bonding with Duncan. So yeah, and she would have been like,
oh, how do you feel about Duncan, my boyfriend?
Oh, great, you know,
he's nice. I get it. You love him. Now let's go.
Vanna conventional would have said this.
I love water diving. Water diving's so much fun, especially when I do it with my siblings. I actually do it with my brother. He's so much fun to be around, especially when Vanna has Fruit Loops. Fruit Loops are good, especially the watermelon kind. They're so good. You should try them. Yummy.
Duncan would have got gold for his team. I feel like Alejandro would have distracted Vanna from diving. Duncan would have told her to go. He would have went for her. No, Shark would have went there. Duncan would swim away. Duncan did something to take down the shark, and he would have found the gold. Then Gwen would have got it for him. Of course, for the next challenge, Vanna and Duncan go on the skateboard. Vanna has a hard time adjusting everything, as if she had just awakened.
What just happened? Pepper salt and pepper flakes.
Vanna, are you okay? Duncan asked.
Pepper salt and pepper flakes. Now,
before this happens, Duncan says this to Vanna. You better listen. Duncan tells Vanna to stop shipping him and Courtney. Vanna asks him why. But before, Duncan tells Vanna that he is over Courtney's uptight attitude. Vanna gasps, and then they go on the skateboard, and then Vanna. So Duncan tells Vanna to keep it a secret for now. In the confessional, Vanna says that she's bad at keeping secrets.
yeah, how can I keep a secret when everybody knows this already? Don't they know this? Yeah, so whatever.
So Vanna assumes that majority of the other team knows this already when they really don't. Vanna gets down about it, and
I can never stop shipping you two. Never, ever, ever. Dunk me forever. Dunk me for life. Make me. Stop shipping you two. Just make me.
Duncan takes the phone from Vanna, the computer from Vanna. He throws it on the ground. Vanna gasps and slides on the skateboard, which leads her to, question everything that just happened. Vanna does this to go after her computer. She hugs her computer tightly.
Computer, how I missed you. I won't let you go. Vanna Melon's got you. I got you.
DJ actually goes home this challenge. For the next one, get a clue. I feel like Duncan is great with finding stuff in subway mysteries. Vanna's great with that too. So Vanna would have led her team with the whole mystery challenge, and the twins would have figured things out together. They would have finished each other's sentences. They would have said the same things at the same time when it's needed, when they solved the mystery. They would have high-fived. So Duncan won't be caught by Courtney and Gwen to win a challenge. I think this means that Team Chris should win, because this means that there will be nothing for Team Amazon to catch. But since Vanna is so great at solving mysteries, what if she would have found the Ripper first? Vanna and Duncan got so close to finding Ripper, then maybe, you know what? Vanna and Duncan would have caught the Ripper. Because especially Vanna is so good at solving mysteries and getting clues. Guess this means that the other team had to vote someone out, and that someone would have been Noah. Sadly. And then Duncan and Gwen work together as well with Vanna, and Duncan and Gwen bond, and they develop a so-called thing. Courtney becomes the third wheel, and she gets jealous, tells them to split up. She goes with Duncan, Gwen goes with Vanna, and then Duncan and Courtney find the Ripper. They capture the Ripper. Courtney tells them what to do. She bosses him around. Duncan tells her what to do. They tell each other what to do. Then he tells her to go for it. She tells him to do. They catch the Ripper. They tell each other to do. Then Courtney catches the Ripper in a sack. Duncan catches the Ripper in a sack. Vanna cheers for him.
Great job, Vanna says. We solved the mystery with more clues.
Of course, in the next episode, Duncan and Gwen kiss. Then Courtney finds out. Vanna finds out. Vanna cries. And
my shipping run is over. How could you?
Vanna says to Duncan. Vanna kicks Duncan in the balls. And Vanna gets mad. So mad at Duncan. So mad at Gwen. Vanna told Duncan that he thought that he broke up with Courtney when he told her that. When he told her that he wasn't into Courtney anymore. What? Duncan said. That's not what I said. He said that he wasn't into Courtney anymore. Vanna cries, and Vanna tells Duncan off. She tells Gwen off. She explodes at Duncan and Gwen. She votes for Duncan. She cheers Courtney up, tries to cheer Courtney up. They dance, they sing, they develop a friend. They already have a friendship, but they develop an even closer bond. Okay, now Team Amazon would have won this one. Vanna and Courtney would have got out of Duncan's alliance, and Vanna and Courtney would have formed an alliance to vote off Gwen. Vanna would have told Courtney to stop doing the challenges. She would have tried her hardest to win. She would have took over as leader of the team. She would have led her team to victory. Vanna would have found something, but Courtney would have sabotaged. Not sabotaged it. She would have made Vanna. She would have took it from her. She would have broke it or something. She would have did something to it. She would have left it on the ground. So if it was nothing, she would have stomped on it. She would have said this. Oops, I'm so sorry. My apologies. Vanna said this. Courtney, how could you? You broke it on purpose. No, you want to lose. That's what you're trying to do. You're trying to get us eliminated. What? Exactly. I'm voting for you.
As if. Okay then, now what do we do with no items? We'll find one. Don't worry, guys. I have a plan. Right, Cody?
Oh boy. So then, y'all, same things would have played out. Duncan got mad at Vanna for kicking him, and then Vanna would have had apologized. She wouldn't ask him why. She would have called him a cheater, and she would have regret apologizing. She would have told him that he deserved it. Duncan would have shoved and pushed Vanna and making her lose. Duncan would have got there first, but then when Duncan finds the item, Courtney would have kicked Duncan, and then she would have did something to it. Like, she would have did the same thing she did with Vanna's item. Now here, Duncan even got placed on Team Chris is really, really, really hot. And then, because they need more teammates, Vanna would have tried to get Duncan back by making his team lose, but she would have got distracted by Alejandro's flirting. And then Alejandro would have carried her team to victory. Alejandro would have won, but then he Heather would have told Vanna to keep her eyes off Alejandro, focus in the game, because Heather would have gotten jealous, and she would have want her to focus in the game. Vanna would have focused on leading her team, and she would have blushed for Alejandro. She would have called him hot in the confessional. Then she would have led her team away towards victory. Same things would happen. Vanna would have told Courtney to stop doing the challenges. Courtney would have said this, but I can't help it. Gwen is on our way in our way of victory, and we have to win this.
And stop throwing the challenges. What are you thinking, throwing away your... Oh, Alejandro is so... Yeah. Come on, Vanna, stay focused. Let's go.
Vanna tells Courtney to stay focused and stay in the game. Courtney agrees, but she tries to throw the challenge again. Team Amazon somehow wins. Vanna tells Courtney not to be furious, instead be happy. She cheers her on. Courtney says this. Ah! Ah! Vanna cheers Courtney. Vanna tries to cheer up Courtney. Courtney growls. Vanna backs away. Picnic at Panic Dork. Now for the next episode, I think that Vanna would have gotten very competitive against Duncan, but Alejandro would have distracted her again with his flirting. Vanna would have blushed. Duncan would have told Alejandro to stop flirting with Vanna. He would have been like, oh, stop flirting with my sister. Got it? Alejandro would have been like, sorry, bromigo. Okay, fine. I'll play the game. Vanna screams at Duncan for cheating on Courtney with Gwen. Duncan screams back at Vanna, telling her that to shut her mouth and that it means nothing to her. Vanna screams back at Duncan, telling him to shut his mouth, telling him that he's better than that, and telling him to keep his head up, focus, telling him that he's better than that. Then Vanna and Duncan start to argue. Courtney screams at Duncan, screams at Vanna, tells her to focus on the challenge. When Cody and Vanna mess Duncan up on the challenge, they both laugh when they see Duncan get beat up by a kangaroo. Of course, Duncan is like, I can't believe you. You're not supposed to be my sister, traitor.
How dare you cheat on Courtney? Now the kangaroo's gonna beat you up.
When Alejandro is flirting with Courtney, Heather Ceases gets jealous, and Heather flirts with Duncan to make Alejandro jealous. Vanna asks Heather why. Heather nods her head and answers, I'm not into Duncan. Your brother? Yes, I'm not into Duncan.
Then why did you flirt with him?
Duh, obviously I was just joking around, Heather said. Duh, obviously.
Oh, okay. Get it. Makes sense. Jokester. Ha 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 ha.
Heather pushes Vanna.
Oof.
Vanna, it's your turn. Go, go, go. Vanna goes and jumps on to get the sheep. And Duncan gave Vanna a kangaroo. Kangaroo tries to punch Vanna. Fails. Vanna punches the kangaroo. Vanna gets kangaroo slap. Kangaroo punches Vanna. And kangaroo kicks Vanna. Vanna gets a kangaroo kick. Vanna jumps over the kangaroo, scoring point and giving. And she jumps forward to get the sheep. Vanna gets the sheep. Then the kangaroo tries to punch Vanna. Vanna ducks. And Vanna punches the kangaroo in the stomach. The kangaroo punches Vanna. Vanna slaps the kangaroo, calls the kangaroo bad. Bad kangaroo, bad! The kangaroo slaps Vanna. Vanna punches the kangaroo, pushes it away. Kangaroo runs away from Vanna. While all of this happens, Gwen and Heather talk about voting out Courtney behind Vanna's back. Gwen goes home. Of course, Courtney wins the challenge. Vanna tells the team to build a boat. Vanna tries to build a boat. Cody turns into Gwen's face. Vanna calls Duncan stupid. Vanna tells her team to calm down when Heather and Courtney fight, and she fights with them. When Sierra tells Cody a story, Vanna says this.
Sierra, stop traumatizing Cody. I'm not traumatized. How dare you? I wasn't traumatizing my husband. I was telling him a friendly story about a bunch of Codys in the Cody world. You're sick. I know. So it's Cody. Sick as in cool. Duh.
Vanna nominates herself to be the captain. Courtney calls herself a team leader in a CIT, and she says that she thinks she should be the captain.
Well, I think that I should be the captain, since I am a CIT and a team leader.
Vanna gets mad at Courtney for trying to throw the challenge. Vanna got a little bit mad at Courtney for trying to throw the challenge last episode. In this episode, Vanna tries to aim the K at Duncan's ship, and then Owen aims himself to Team Amazon. No elimination ceremony. Team Amazon, of course, is really, really hot, wins. Now next, the merge happens. The next challenge is the merge. Nick comes back and carries Vanna. Then they two be romantic together. Nick gets mad at Duncan for cheating on Courtney. Nick gets concerned, and then Nick and Vanna falls on a tightrope. Nick is afraid of heights. Nick and Vanna falls on a tightrope. And then, when he tells Vanna where to go, Vanna and Nick talk about marriage and accomplishing all their goals together. Then Nick agrees, and Nick talks about how he knows how cute Vanna looks. Vanna agrees, and Vanna got her dress. Before that happens, Vanna bumps into a bell. She slips into the chocolate pudding, and then she falls into the chocolate pudding. Laughs and tells her to keep going. Vanna laughs, and then she keeps going. She grabs the dress. And then Duncan and Courtney win a challenge. Next challenge. Vanna isn't used to eating disgusting food. She would have puked eventually. Vanna uses a walking stick to get there, and Vanna runs all the way there, all her speed. Yeah, last episode Duncan and Courtney won due to being so iconic. Vanna would normally celebrate this, but Vanna gets disappointed that Duncan still cheated. Duncan won. Vanna wants Courtney to stop stealing. Vanna was mad at Courtney for dodging all the challenges. Gwen goes home, and Nick goes home. Vanna gets sad, and then she says,
Nicky Poo, call me.
By the way, Duncan would have told Vanna about Alejandro being a slippery eel and a snake. Vanna would have agreed to vote up Alejandro with Duncan, with the others. But Alejandro would have convinced Heather to vote for Owen. Courtney would have voted for Owen. Vanna would have accidentally voted for Owen. Sierra would have accidentally voted for Owen. Now the next challenge. But that was the last episode Owen got eliminated. This episode, Courtney and Blaney both got eliminated. African Lion Safari. This is the episode where Vanna goes out and tries to find Ezekiel alone. Vanna teams up with Duncan, and Duncan asks Vanna if she wants to form an alliance. Vanna says no, because Vanna is still mad at Duncan for what he did. Then they go off to find Ezekiel, and then they trip, and Heather distracts Vanna and Duncan. So, Vanna, what's your best move? Haven't got to strategize now that you're flat out of a leader?
Okay, what are you trying to say, Heather? Don't you dare call me non-strategizer, because
Alejandro tricked Vanna and Duncan.
Whoa!
They fall in the red cherry bush. Ezekiel gets them both, and then now that is how Vanna and Duncan got eliminated. That is all. Thanks for watching.
Vanna, out.
That's how it goes in the season. That is what if Duncan didn't quit. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe. See you guys next time.
Vanna, out.